leadership?
Well, I think there is a mindset for an athlete who wants to be a champion because you have to think gold, right? You don't want to think bronze or silver. You want to think gold. So that mindset is critical. I know there's a positive psychologist, Martin Seligman, who developed this model. It's the ABCDE model, and it kind of gets to this mindset kind of thing because the A stood for adversity, and athletes and leaders are going to face adversity, whether it's on the playing field or in the boardroom. And so what happens normally when we hit adversity, the B part of the ABCDE model comes in, and the B part is our beliefs. So our beliefs of how we view that adversity is critical because it will determine what the consequences are. It may be, for example, you had a bad game. It doesn't mean the season is lost because you know before that you've had previous defeats, but if you recommit yourself and you refocus, you can win the next time out, and so it can just be a short-term consequence. It doesn't have to be a long-term thing. But if you believe, your season is lost, and woe be you and the team, all is going to be lost, then the consequences then will have a negative effect in your mind as you kind of play the next contest and stuff like that. And so those consequences are critically important. They all stem from our belief system. So the D of the model was simply you have to dispute those beliefs. And so by saying, hey, listen, we've been here before, we can overcome it again, you dispute that, and then it leads to the E, which is energization, which pushes you forward through that adversity. So the mindset of an athlete or the mindset of a leader, I would say, is the same when you kind of look at this ABCDE model. So having that optimistic outlook as a leader to believe that regardless of the circumstances that you can break through those barriers and achieve the results you're looking for is critical. But I would recommend to you to take a look at this positive psychology because it plays a critical role on the psyche of a leader's mind. So work-life balance, that's a great question. And I know it's a question that millennial generation is really concerned about. But I would say I wouldn't want to stereotype it just being a concern for millennials. I mean, any generation, I'm from the baby boomer generation, and I found, especially in the military, we kind of had this saying like we work hard and we play hard. And so what that just meant was that when it came time for work, everybody was totally focused in. We were fully committed and invested in what we were trying to accomplish. And so we got the job done, and then together as a team we would celebrate. And so that was kind of like working hard and playing hard. But in today's world, it's very easy to be focused totally on work, and trying to achieve a work-life balance is a lofty goal. I would also say there's a couple of other things too to be focused on. One is your health. And they kind of go hand in hand, right? If that's all you're doing is working and running yourself ragged and not have any kind of like life, so to speak, then it's certainly going to affect your health. But investing in taking care of yourself is critically important to being a leader because especially during difficult times, it takes its toll on leaders, and the stress oftentimes undermines a leader's effectiveness. So focusing on health is critically important, and I would say faith, family, and friends. And so that's kind of like, a big picture, like 6 things to try to keep in balance. I remember when I was a young major going to Fort Leavenworth for the Commanding General Staff College, and I had a colonel tell me, he goes, listen, Major, he says, you got to keep your chemistry in balance. And that was his way of saying, listen, don't drive yourself crazy trying to get the white briefcase. The white briefcase was an award that was given to the top performer out of about 1,000 students that were at this Commanding General Staff College. And he said some things are really important and you should really focus and work hard on those, but other things are not. But don't drive yourself crazy trying to get that white briefcase. Find that kind of work-life balance. But I would say look beyond just the work-life thing. Also focus on your health. Also focus on your faith, family, and friends as well, and try to keep all of those things in somewhat balance. And I would wish you good luck, because in my experience it's not easy to do that. You'll find at times work is going to be the priority, and so your life is going to have to take a back seat, and you have to be committed to doing that at times. And at other times, maybe it's your life will become the priority, and work is going to take a secondary or a back seat. And so it's just not kind of automatic. It's not going to be 50-50. But you have to be able to do all of the things that I mentioned to really be an effective leader.